Okay, so, might be pretty obvious by whatever I make the title of this video what I'm doing today, but I'll talk about it anyways, I guess, so, okay, now that I'm drinking my juice, excuse me, so, first of all, before I explain, I don't have the window for this, like the max size, because I want to see OBS and Audacity, so the quality might be not be that good for the video I'm going to watch. Just letting you know, I guess if you care. And I feel like it was awkward to explain that first, but whatever. Yeah, you. Yes, I'm using Audacity for this because apparently if things are too quiet or whatever, the quality does not sound good with OBS and this mic for some reason. And yeah, you're. I don't have the AC on. I don't think I need it today. I do feel kind of muggy-ish though, but I should be fine. I hope. Anyways, yeah, so I was thinking about things lately. I don't know if you guys know this. I think it's been a while since I made like a video talking about this. I think or anything talking about this, but I used to like to write stories a lot, especially when I was younger. I haven't done that recently though, especially because of my LP stuff. Speaking of which, this probably isn't even going to be uploaded on my main channel. I have no idea. It might be on my other channel instead. I have no idea, but yeah. Anyways, I was thinking about the stuff I used to write though, when I was thinking about like the anniversaries and stuff, and I realized for Element Temp in particular, one of the stories I used to write, I realized its anniversary is coming up soon. Not only that though, I realized it was actually it's gonna be its 15th anniversary, in particular tomorrow for me because it's not even 11 p.m. yet. It's Friday today, but I surprisingly had time to record this at all and like early too. So I'm like, it's really good, really nice because I'm doing this now because I want to upload this on June 4th, which is its anniversary. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do though at first because as I haven't like the last thing I think I did for Element Temp was this video I'm about to watch, which I made for its 10th anniversary. So yeah, and I'm like, I guess I'll make a video of me reacting to my old video because I haven't seen this in forever. Probably I made two of these, and one's 16 minutes, one is 22. Almost 22. This would be a longer video than I thought it would be. Holy crap! But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to do at least something for because its 15th anniversary is a big deal, you know. Though, even though I haven't done any writing things, whatever, in a long time, but still, it's important to me, so I will do it anyways. Even though I'm not sure anyone will be interested in seeing a video like this, but whatever. So, yeah, apparently, my 5 year in the past self didn't think of the same idea because I think this is I can't show it here. It's because the window's too small, but this was probably uploaded on June 5th, not June 4th. So I'm assuming I did it. I probably did it on the night of the 4th, and it ended up being uploaded after. Because this is an old video, so I probably used my old recording software stuff to do this. That's probably why it took so long. But yeah, anyways, yeah, so I'm going to be reacting to this video. I don't think I need to say anything else before starting, so yeah. I had watched like a few seconds just to test things, and but that's it. So I have no idea what to expect, as I don't really remember what I talked about here. And yeah, let's see what my 5 years in the past self was like. I guess was before my this was in 2017, so I was like it was slightly after Randomized Emerald at the beginning, but all the other LPs was after it. I don't know why I'm even talking about my LPs now. This has nothing to do with that, but anyways, yeah, dogs are.
Long ago, there was a young lad named Seju who liked to write stories. The story he made up was called Seju's Adventures, which, as you could probably guess, was about himself and an adventure with the friends he made up, like Sergi, Sprit, Segia, etc. He wrote a bunch of different stories, but they pretty much were all in the same world of Seju and his friends.
So I probably made a script for this because I'm assuming the way I'm reading it, I'm assuming I did a couple takes. It's really easy to tell, and damn, these screenshots are really freaking old. You could tell by the date at the bottom. Well, maybe not because it's fine to show that, I guess. Um, it's probably hard to see because this thing is covering it up, but it says it's 2007. Can I do? I have no idea how that's gonna look in the recording. I hope it didn't mess things up, but yeah. In case you can't see it, this screenshot in particular is from April 13th, 2007. I'm assuming since I can see it, yeah, you guys probably can too. Well, the quality of this video probably won't look as good, but like if you want to see it yourself, you can just watch the video. It's one of my playlists on my site. I think it's called CS-Mania stuff. In case you're curious about this video, in particular, so like the quality shouldn't matter. You can just watch it yourself if you want to see it in better quality, I guess. So yeah.
While he had an interest in writing different stories, he couldn't really think of anything else to write besides things for Seju's adventures. Until one day, he thought up an idea of a character using a thermometer to use the powers of elements around him, to use all sorts of powers to defeat monsters. This idea didn't really work in Seju's adventures, so finally he was able to start another series, the first of many that he would eventually create. What is that series called? Element Temp. June 4th.
So I don't want to elaborate on this. I already used to come up with a lot of ideas for different characters and stuff. I'd put it in the same universe as Seju's Adventures, make them spin-offs or whatever, I think. And I also like to create CS-Mon, I think, yeah. I actually just remember that seeing the screenshots here. I actually forgot I put the screenshots of like before I made Element Temp too. I forgot why I made these screenshots. I don't even know if I still have these saved somewhere. Probably have them somewhere saved. I don't remember where though. Apparently I had them at the time, and I probably found them and I thought it would be a good idea to put in the video, so I did, I guess. And then after I made Element Temp, I decided like I really wanted to try and make something new. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this in the video, but I wanted to come up with like a really interesting idea that's like it was worth it to make a separate series from Seju's Adventures. Man, that started my idea to make more of them, and that's how that happened, I guess. That was probably like that was a super big deal. I thought it was like a super good idea, like to not make it to separate it from Seju's Adventures, and yeah, from what I remember anyway, yeah.
2007 is the day.
Maybe rewind.
June 4th, 2007 is the day he created that series. Yep, that's right. It's now been 10 years since Element Temp was first created.
For me, about an hour, it's gonna be 15 years. Holy crap! And I don't know why I was speaking in third person during that. By the way, but this will probably be a pretty long video because there's probably a lot of times I want to pause and talk about stuff. I don't want to talk over myself. That's why I keep pausing it. But yeah.
As you probably already guessed by now, you probably know why I'm making this video now. Because for it's Element Temp's 10th anniversary. Well, it is when I'm making the video. Anyways. And I wanted to do something to celebrate, I guess. And what I thought it was one of the things is to make this video talking about Element Temp. How I first created it and what I want to do for it. And I made, like, read out old chapters and stuff. Maybe one or a few, depending on how long the video is. I should let you know in advance, though, that this is not scripted because I feel like I might have a too unnatural voice if I do it, and I'm too lazy to make one, so you might hear some, like, random pauses, because that's me cutting, because I sometimes don't have not very good at showing my thoughts very well, as you just happened right now.
Also, I love it how I have a bunch of like new stuff on my desktop. I didn't have it uploaded anywhere; it was just there. But like, I mean, in a sense, I don't know how many people look at my site or even going to watch this video in particular. So I guess I technically haven't really changed in regards to that. But at least I have it like online. But it's still pretty funny. I just have it here because I don't think I really showed this to anyone. But whatever. Yeah. Guess I just like to pretend like it was like a super big deal, like it was to me, of course. I love these stories, so yeah, like news, but it's just to myself. I don't believe I showed this to really to anybody, right? Also, what does CST members mean? I don't even remember what that means, but yeah, whatever.
So that I just lose my train of thought and can't.
Also, yeah, there was more stories later, and I changed that box in the bottom to like all of the other ones. It's really starting to get human now, but I'm not turning the AC back on because also probably sitting too close to was sitting too close to the mic there because I'm leaning in to look at the screen because it's not like fully big or whatever. So sorry about that if that happens. It's probably gonna happen a couple times. I'm only 2.5 minutes in and recording for over 11 minutes. Oh boy.
Can't say what I want to say, and how funny it happened right then. So there's probably going to be a bunch of cuts, like I just made one right now. So if you're wondering why I'm doing that, now you know. When I make my funnier videos, and quotations funny, I don't make it as much cuts because sometimes I think losing my train of thought to say random things instead might be funny, but I want this to be a bit more serious because it's like kind of an important day for me.
This is 2017. What videos did I make besides Randomize Emerald? I don't even remember. That's probably what I was talking about, right? Because like the way I'm talking reminds me of my early Randomize Emerald, like how I sounded, because of like how I talked and how what I used to record myself. I used my laptop for this. I'm pretty sure 2017. I don't think I actually. I think I got my desktop PC I use now in 2018. Damn. So it was right before that. Holy crap! It was 2018, right? Like late 2018, I think. I think that's. Damn, I don't remember when I started the Zelda randomizer and then restart randomizer Emerald. Was that 2018 or 19? I think Worlds like was 2019, so it must have been 2018 then. Oh no, I think I restarted in March, so that was 2019, but the one before was 2018. That's when I officially started doing the LP stuff again. And I keep talking about my LP stuff and like distracting from this. I'm really sorry about that, but yeah. I'll try not to pause this as much, by the way, because I don't want this to take forever. So yeah, anyways, also what does SAC members mean? I have no idea.
Although it's kind of late now, so I don't know if I'll actually get this video up in time, unfortunately.
That's exactly what I figured. I probably did this late at night, because I guess I wanted to record it on June 4th. I did not think of the same thing this time. I'm recording this on June 3rd, technically, and it should be up on June 4th. I hope I have time to edit this whole video tonight, because it should not be hard to edit, so yeah.
But better late than never, I suppose. Actually, speaking of which, I think I actually did make a video for Element Temp's 9th anniversary.
And I moved other news there. Yeah.
Last year. And seriously, I can't believe that was a year ago. Wow, time flies. And I think it was also for Paint and Trouble's 8th anniversary. Its 9th is tomorrow. Fortunately, 9th isn't as important as 10 is. So,
and 14 isn't as special as 15 is, so I'm not going to do something for Pain Trouble tomorrow. Especially since tomorrow I wanted to take, I didn't want to record anything. Because I have time to record stuff later on, so I'm going to do probably Sunday, Monday, Wednesday for when I go back to doing LP stuff. And I keep talking about that during this video. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I keep doing that, but yeah.
So Paint Trouble won't get as much attention this year. Element Temp will be getting the attention this time. So Paint Trouble, you're going to have to wait a year. Sorry. So anyway, what I want to talk about first is the picture I have up right now, or is what I'm assuming I'm going to have up. Because I decided I'm going to do pictures instead of recording the computer screen, because I don't want it to like screw up like during my recording when I have it there, because it happened before with my I don't remember what LP episode it was. I have to record everything over again. I don't want to do it for.
What the hell did I use to edit this? I have no idea. Also, sorry I keep pausing. For random questions that don't really have anything to do with whatever.
For this. whatever
Rewinding.
LP episode it was. I have to record everything over again. I don't want to do it for this. So hey, the picture I have up is a screenshot. Jeez, really? A screenshot of what I had up at the time when I first made it. It was actually recorded on the 7th, I believe, the 7th of June. But since there's nothing else saying otherwise, I'm assuming this is also up on June 4th as well. So before I had stuff for Seju Adventures and CS-Mon when I made a bunch of stuff CS-Mon back then. Sorry about losing my train of thought again. Anyways, so Element Temp was apparently an idea I liked a lot. So I ended up getting its own special box down there. Before it was just the two of them. I was even wondering, it's like, I hope it is a good enough idea that I'll actually like work on it more, and it'll be its own things besides Seju Adventures and CS-Mon, because the idea of doing something like that was like so like alien to me, if lack of a better term. But not only did I have good ideas for it, I actually ended up making more series too. Although unfortunately, I haven't been working on much stuff for Element Temp. I just like when I'm starting to restyle my series, I only have the first episode. That's chapter rather.
It's kind of weird to hear myself like how I used to talk back then. I wouldn't say I'm not like this now, but I was like super like nervous about like talking well or whatever. And it was a really special like occasion for me. That's probably why. But it's still kind of because I thought at that point I talked like better or whatever than I actually ended up doing. But yeah. Also, what the hell was I gonna? I was gonna mention something else. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah. But yeah.
But not only did I have good ideas for it, I actually ended up making more series too.
Oh yeah, like I was gonna say like I talked about this earlier, right? And I'm talking about it in the video. I'll probably talk about things I'm gonna say again in the video, anyways. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this, so yeah.
Although unfortunately, I haven't been working on much stuff for Element Temp. I just like when I'm starting to restyle my series, I only have the first episode. That's chapter rather. Which is actually another thing I did for the anniversary. So it actually got more attention to do that about Seju's Adventures even. So that's just how important it is to me. I have more saved screenshots than this one, but for now I think I'm just gonna show this one because it's for Element Temp. I don't know if I'll show the other ones eventually later, but for now this is the one I'm showing. Like,
It's pretty obvious that my plans in editing were different than what I'm saying here, because in the video it's just randomly showing all the screenshots, not just one, and then moving on to the others later. But it's kind of weird. I think I mentioned that in the description though, so I don't feel like checking the description while recording. But yeah, also this would be a really weird time to stop. But I should probably check my recording now because it's been quite a while. I have no idea how long this video is going to be in total. Or maybe I'll just decide to watch this one and not the other one. I have no idea. Dogs are... So, I think I was talking, okay there. I don't have to worry about talking, like, too quiet or whatever, because there's no AC on. And when I'm talking, I know, like, nothing is going to be playing in the background or whatever. Like, no game or video, whatever. Because of that, though, like, when I'm actually watching, I'm not going to be talking. So I actually increased the volume of my headset, like, more than I normally would to hear it. So because of that, I heard, like, the video kind of playing in my mic recording a bit, but I don't think it's going to matter much in the video itself, because I'm assuming it'll match up with the game audio, well, OBS's recording of the video, but yeah. So whatever. Also, it went back to the beginning, because to stop recording, I pressed 0 on my number pad. So it also brings it back to the beginning. So I was here, I think. So like 6:10, whatever, somewhere like that. So anyways, I'm gonna try. I keep saying this. I'm gonna try not to pause the video too much because I don't want this to take too long. But I'm probably gonna do that anyways because yeah, you're yeah, whatever.
I'm showing. Like, for the most part, there are during Element Temp's creation or afterward, so I guess they technically would be relevant to it, but I don't think it's that important to do so, so I'm not going to. So, about to go
What did I
into it,
say?
but for now, this is the one I'm showing. Like, for the most part, there are
Oh,
during Element Temp's creation or afterward, so I guess they technically would be relevant to it, but I don't think it's that important to do so, so I'm not going to.
no, I think I ended up showing all of them because because I thought it was interesting that I saved all these. It was a good blast from the past, and I didn't know one else. I didn't think there was any good opportunity to show these off. Because I don't think there's really anything interesting enough that would want to make a video about that would be relevant to show these images. So I just didn't show them all. I think that was my logic. This was 5 years ago, so I don't remember for sure. But yeah,
So, about the series, what I'd like to talk about now is like what I first thought of to write the series and what's changed. Although to be honest, compared to the other series that I have, like ideas to change and stuff, Element Temp hasn't really changed all that much. So I'm not sure like how much I'm gonna end up talking about, but there are a few things to talk about, so it's fine. So like I mentioned before, this isn't really scripted, so I don't know if like there's a certain like order of things I should talk about. So I guess I'll just talk about like random things that pop in my head to bring up.
I didn't make notes or whatever to talk about. Probably not. It's me. Even nowadays, don't do things like that. Well, no, I kind of do with when I do things off screen or whatever. Like obviously, I'll write notes for that, and I guess sometimes even if I have things to talk about, okay, I do. I guess I do write notes then. I don't know why. I'm assuming I don't. Although, no, I would say like I'm not really lazy with that anymore compared to how I used to be. Like I'm pretty sure for this I didn't write down anything, right? I probably thought I hope I remember to talk about everything I wanted to, and then yeah, and that's probably what happened, and I don't know if I forgot to talk about anything, but whatever. Let's see.
I don't know if there's like a certain order to do it that makes sense, but whatever. So anyways, I guess what
I created Indigo the Witch, and the fifth episode of Element Temp came out the same day. I don't did not remember that actually. That's interesting. And okay, yeah.
I'm gonna bring up first is Julius's personality. As I mentioned before, the first series I made was Seju's Adventures before Element Temp was the only one. So the only really real main characters I had were like pretty much Seju. There were others, but like he was the main one. So
Okay, this is a really random tangent, but why the hell does this say autumn next to Sergi's journey? That's really random. Was I assuming I would like work on it and finish it then? That's weird for a deadline for the games I made. I know it's kind of random to bring that up because I have not been talking about that. I just saw that in the image. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? I don't remember, but yeah. Sorry about the random, yeah, you.
pretty much Seju. There were others, but like he was the main one. So you might have guessed some of his personality like bled into Julius's. Like I don't think I really like thought of like how to make his personality at the time. I just like wanted to make the series. So at first he was actually a lot similar to him. Like I thought of ways to make other characters like Stat, Sarah, and Rai, especially Rai. But when I like thought about it, I didn't really think of Julius's that much until later on. I made him like it actually did develop. Like if you read the older ones I had put up, I actually haven't done all yet. I was kind of lazy, but you actually like I actually did eventually like decide on a certain like personality for him. Like later on, it showed he was like kind of like lazy, didn't really like was not that into like fighting and stuff, and he was like overslept and stuff. That was kind of his personality in a way. And then when I rewrote it, that like you saw that like for him like at the very beginning.
I don't know if I'm gonna talk about this in the video, but I think I did that on purpose to make him similar to Banjo. I think, and then Rai was supposed to be like Kazooie. I guess that was my logic. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't mention this before, but because I think it's important to actually talk about. Probably should have talked about this before, but whatever. I realized I didn't actually have anything like on Stalkless Generator. Like anything related to the stories I wrote. I used to have like my old site. It used to be like the main thing I had up, right? I think my LP was randomized emerald like. What did I make a page for the video? Actually, I don't think I did that actually. Yeah, I didn't make like a page for that kind of thing until later on. So I was after like I think that was around the time I like when I started recording with my this new PC and took LP stuff more seriously. I think at that time I didn't really have anything like my stories up and publicly like I used to anymore at that point. It wasn't Stalkless Generator yet though. It wasn't like that from the beginning, but yeah. Usually it's not like I don't have them up though because I don't want anyone to see them anymore. I think eventually I was gonna put them up again, but I kind of forgot about it. You see, I was actually thinking of like putting up Element Temp stuff in celebration for its 15th anniversary. I just don't, but I just didn't think that was enough. I might do it eventually though, in the others. Like finally, I don't know why I haven't after all this time. But yeah, I at least want to do that though at some point. Hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, I don't wait too long to do that because I'll probably forget about it. And but yeah, you
Like in the beginning, you saw that like for him, like at the very beginning, like in the beginning of the series, it actually showed that he wanted to like he wanted to be like want a more thrilling life. And then he was happy to have his powers, which is like the exact opposite of how it is now, which is kind of funny. So like it was completely different back then.
yeah, Julius wanting a thrilling life is very out of character for him now.
Kind of funny. So like it was completely different back then. I mean, the whole thing about like wanting to be like have more thrilling life and wanting to have powers was like very similar to Seju too. So I wanted to change it to make it more unique. Especially since there were more series, it didn't like his personality like I would just say it didn't stand out, but it actually stood out for not standing out, if that makes any sense. So like I obviously realized it was kind of a problem. I wanted to fix it.
Kind
So
of.
eventually I ended up doing it later on.
Well, it stood out compared to like the main series, like the ones I took more seriously. Element Temp, I guess. Well, I do like Element Temp a lot, but I guess it was special to me because it was one of the first ones I wrote. Well, then again, Par and Shuffle and Friends were too, but I didn't take them as seriously. And noise outside you can hear because the AC is not on.
Problem, I wanted to fix it. So eventually I ended up doing that later on. But yeah. Now I like to talk about now is Rai, who is the secondary protagonist of the series. At first, though, the story was just gonna be like Julius and well Stat giving him his powers, and his sister Sarah would be like there. It's like not a sidekick per se, like another like voice in the story, like a normal.
Okay, let me guess what I'm gonna talk about here because I'm curious. I think I'm right though. I think what I'm gonna mention here is that this story, what I specifically want to do is back then beforehand. I guess it's probably because I was a teenager, but I love to pair up characters as like love interests or whatever, and I'm like, this time I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna be different with Element Temp. I think that's why I made the female character his sister to specifically to avoid that. But then I ended up making a rival character for him. I don't know if I think I did actually make her like specifically to be his love interest, which is kind of funny actually, considering what role she has in the story. But yeah,
Sidekick per se, like
right. I mean,
another like voice in the story, like a normal person, like in the story with him. So it was pretty much just gonna be those three characters. Then I decided that I might like have a rival for him, I guess. At first I was like deciding like the thing is before that,
yeah, I'm gonna talk about it now.
pretty much in all my series before, well just as with interest, I pretty much had a love interest for the character, like for all the main characters. But I didn't actually have one for Element Temp because like it was just the only girl there was his sister. And I think like the main reason I actually wanted to make Rai was to give him a love interest. But I was thinking is like, did I really want to make a character just for that reason? So I was wondering if like having Rai there was a mistake. But then later on, like the series is pretty much like centered a lot around Rai, so like it'd be kind of weird not to think of what it'd be like if she wasn't there.
I never finished the story, but for the idea I have for it now, if I ever finally end up writing the whole thing, Rai is very, very important to the series. She's probably like the most important character of all of them, even arguably Julius. What the hell was I gonna say? I keep forgetting about stuff I wanted to talk about. What the hell?
But then later on, like the series is pretty much like centered a lot around Rai, so like it'd be kind of weird not to think of what it'd be like if she wasn't there. But then later on, like the series is pretty much like centered a lot around Rai, so like it'd be kind of weird not to think of what
Yeah, it's like I don't want to pause too much. That's why like I'm thinking of stuff to talk about, and then it takes so long to talk about it. I forget what I was gonna say, but whatever.
it'd be like if she wasn't there. So I definitely don't think of her as a mistake anymore. So yeah. So what I'd like to talk about next is some elements of the story. Get it? Because it's Element Temp. So funny.
Hilarious.
First of all, speaking of which, the story is called Element Temp because he uses elements, obviously, and temp for like temperature, because he
When I look at how long I've been watching the video, you're gonna see it on recording, aren't you? I just
it's called
realized
Element
that.
Temp because he uses elements, obviously, and temp for like temperature, because he uses a thermometer. Actually, speaking of which, I don't even know why I decided to make the weapon a thermometer. I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember at all.
Yeah, it's not like it was gonna be based on temperature, and then I changed my mind about elements. Pretty sure it was always supposed to be about elements, and also I might be quieter now because I'm leaning back to watch the video. I should probably not do that so I sound consistent through the video. My bad.
Like, I wasn't like planning on doing anything with like hot and cold to his powers. It was always elements.
Yeah.
It was never anything else at first. Although the elements that I thought up is different now. Not that I added anything, rather the opposite. I actually took some stuff out. Originally, he was going to have like 25 elements totally he could use. 25, yeah. A lot of them are actually based on Pokemon. Like the CS-Mon too. Like I had like very I was like a very obsessed Pokemon back then, and it helped emote like inspire some stuff in my stories.
Pretty sure all the types I came up with for CS-Mon I brought over to Element Temp. I don't know. I'm probably gonna talk about it in the video, but there was like so many, and then he was able to use like not like literally at the same time, but you could swap between them, and he would put stuff in the thermometer to get their powers, and then, like later on he prepares stuff to like have a bunch of stuff ready so he'd be able to use a bunch at the same time. But I ended up not liking that idea because it was just too much at once, and felt bad if he like bring like stuff with him and like not use half the elements, which I ended up thinking was kind of lame. So I ended up lowering them so like they had more value or whatever, as there wasn't as many or something like that. I probably used to talk about this better in the video itself, so I'll just let past me explain this shit, assuming I am going to.
However, you got to the point where Julius was able,
Yeah,
like
that's all
he
about
was
it right
able
here.
to use like the powers of all the elements the same, like had all the elements like equipped it at the same time. Like he couldn't like use them at the same time, but he like was able to switch to them whenever. And so I felt like at that point he wouldn't be able to use like not even like a quarter of all those elements at once. So it's
It's not even half. It's not even a quarter. Yeah, true. Was definitely more right here than what I talked about earlier.
gonna be kind of pointless.
Mm.
And I realized the only really way to fix this problem was to cut down on how many elements a total you was able to use.
It's kind of funny. I'm like remembering kind of the video as I'm watching it, but I mean, I made the damn video. Of course, I'm gonna remember some stuff, but yeah.
It seemed like very over excessive at that point, so I cut it down to like I believe it's like 8 or 9 now. But in exchange though, I made the elements able to do more things. I believe like he would just say like water power or like what was it, leaf power back then? Yeah, leaf power. And that's all he would do to use those powers. He wouldn't, so they'd be able to do one thing each. Well, for the most part, like I think like with metal power, you could like make walls by swinging it or something, and then like he point in front of him and shoot like metal needles or something.
What would have been an interesting idea? I just randomly thought of it now. Is to have some of them be defensive and some be offensive. So metal power would only be a shield of metal. So that would make them more unique and then be worth. It would make more sense to have a lot then. Also, I don't know if I talk about it here, but like if he used the powers too much, he would lose it. So that's like part of the reason why he would want to have a bunch of elements at once. So yeah, then that's why I only did pretty much did one thing. For metal power, I thought it made more sense to have a shield, but I also wanted it to have offensive properties. So like like if you only had metal power, you could use it had something to use offensively. But I think the idea of only having it be defensive, so it makes them want to bring more things, makes a lot more sense. I don't know if I'm gonna change it to be that if I ever write this again, but I just thought of it now. I thought that's actually a really interesting idea I thought of. Just funny because like that was like I thought that would be a bad idea, but I'm thinking about it, it's like if he's gonna bring a lot with him anyways, it would like give a reason to have want to bring a lot of stuff with him at the same time. If like some of them can only do defensive things. So yeah.
But like other than that though, they pretty much all did one thing. But now I made it so that you can do more things with the elements in exchange for not having as many to use at once, in total rather. So yeah, that's pretty much the biggest difference between the current version and the old one. Other than that though, not much has changed. Except I am planning on doing something different with like the plot of like the stuff like besides the fighting monsters and stuff, including like with Rai and other characters, backstories and stuff, and with like who is like controlling the monsters and stuff. Although I don't want to talk about that much too much because it's kind of a spoiler and stuff. I mean, I still have only written the first chapter. I have the whole story planned out already though, but yeah, I just haven't written it yet. Kind of.
Between this video and now, have I made anything at all for Element Temp? I don't even remember. Probably not, honestly. I haven't really done that in quite a while, but yeah. I've made stuff like for myself and just not uploaded it online, by the way. In case you're wondering. So it hasn't been like 4 or 5 years since I've written anything at all, but I don't remember how long it's been since I haven't uploaded anything, but I have like written a few things. There's something I'm actually working on like by myself, like just for the hell of it. I did actually start recently, and I remember when I did it, but I was actually surprised how much stuff I was able to write down because it's been so long since I've written things. And yeah, let's finish this video. So I can stop recording afterwards, so I don't have to make 3 parts for this one video.
Combination of not having much time and not having much motivation sometimes, or like 90% of the time, so lazy with it now. Like back then, I had like. Actually, maybe I can show the screenshot of that too. It was like a month later, and I already had four episodes done. It was called episodes back then. Done for Element Temp. Although I didn't really have to like right now. My story is a lot more complicated. Like, I added so much more detail, and I have the images now. I had the names for the characters like next to their name to show who's talking back then, and then I decided to make it more novel, like a novel as in book, not novel as a new novel story type thing. Then I changed it to like make a combination of both things. So I still do that, but I also have the images and stuff, so it takes a bit more time. I definitely think it's worth it. Like after it's done though, so it's worth like the time it takes to do it. Even if sometimes I don't. Ironically, though, I actually did it to make it me more motivated to do it. Sometimes it has the opposite effect because it takes more time to do it.
That's pretty much what I think is why I lost motivation eventually to write stuff. I made it too complicated for myself because I wanted to make it better, and it was way simpler back then. It was way easier to write, so that's why I was able to make more things in a short amount of time than I would say right now. But I haven't really made that much stuff currently, but yeah. Also, looking at these this stuff on my desktop here, it reminds me of like memories of the past. I'm like, holy shit. Makes me want to click on things like on my notes, for example, see what the hell I have in there, but I don't have that anymore. Pretty sure any of this shit. Also, I realize I have show desktop on the desktop. That's completely useless. Why is that over there? But yeah.
And wow, you know what? This video is actually getting a lot longer than I thought it would.
This video I'm making right now is getting even longer than this video is. Holy
It's
crap.
already been past 15 minutes already. And I mean,
Yeah.
what I wanted to do was actually read the first old chapter and talk about like some stuff like what I was gonna do, like what I was thinking of when I was writing those things and what's changed. But I haven't even got to that yet. It's been past 15 minutes, so I think I actually make more than one video for this. So speaking of which, I think this might be the end of this one. So the next one I will talk about. I'll read out that one and talk about this stuff about it in the next one. So continue in the next video. Bye.
No buy.
So what I'm
No,
going
oh
to do.
wow! I just auto played it. Holy crap! It scared me. But yeah, no buy. I guess. And yeah, I'm gonna try my recording again. Dogsy. So unlike my past self, I'm gonna make this all one video. So this is gonna be a pretty damn long video. Probably already is pretty long as it is. Also, it's surprisingly not midnight yet, but actually, yeah, I work early tomorrow, so hopefully this doesn't take too much longer because I want to. At this point, I don't think I'm gonna have time to edit today. Actually, when am I gonna have time to do it tomorrow? But I don't know. I probably will have time. But because I do want this up on the 4th, so now I'm especially glad I'm recording this now. But yeah. By the way, I don't know if it's been pretty obvious, but I worked a lot today, so I'm pretty tired actually. I would say that's probably why I'm not gonna talk that much, but I think I have talked about quite a bit actually, more than I thought I would. I don't know how much that much stuff to talk about from in this video because I think I'm just gonna read the first chapter, which for some reason I guess takes over 22 minutes. But yeah, if I probably had stuff to talk about while I was reading this too. Is it? Why didn't I? I read it, but I didn't show the story itself on the video. It's weird. Maybe I probably mentioned like, oh, just look it up yourself, but right now I don't have that up. I'll do it later so you guys can look at it. So you can read along, I guess, if you want to from this video. Probably should get on that soon. Probably should have done it before making this video in general, actually, but oh well. But yeah, yeah, you.
So what I'm going to do now is start reading the very first episode actually of Element Temp, the very first one I made back in June 4th of 10 years ago. I'm not actually going to have like any images of it or recording of the chapter itself, of the episode. No, I'm getting reversed up problem. So if you actually want to see it while I'm reading it, you can go to my site and look at it if you want. It's up there, that one is. But if you just want to listen to my voice, then you can do that too, I suppose. I'll try my best to make it so it's easy enough to understand what's going on. I might try to add some voices to the characters, although I'm not sure how well I'm going to do. There's be no like old man voices.
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious. What's gonna be up now is just random images I made for Element Temp. You can tell I'm a very talented artiste. I was back then, and I definitely am now. The most artiste things I've done recently is sub edited sprite stuff for my images, and this time I actually used the correct uses of sprite instead of saying that instead of image whatever. Yeah, you're. I keep wanting to talk about LP stuff since I'm recording. Yeah, you're like it just makes me think of LP stuff because that's what I normally have my mic set up and talking like this for, and yeah, so I just can't help it.
During it, that's like only one of the few voices I can do, and like what was it, that he'll be like goofy. Neither of those will be there, unfortunately, so sorry for that. So anyway, with that, let's get started reading the episode. This will be Fantastic. So anyways, start. Element Temp, Episode 1. Oh, number sign 01. Well, there actually were more than 10.
I guess I can mention who these characters are because I don't talk about it. I don't think I make any mention of who they are in case you don't know, so I guess I'll mention it myself. Future me will do that. This is Temp. This story I'm gonna read. I'm gonna mention that he calls himself Temp. When he transforms, I guess it's like to hide his identity or something. Even though Rye doesn't do that, so I don't know what the point was. His hair changes colors when he transforms. For his normal form, its hair turns gray, and then the elements change its color. So water, he'd have blue hair, and then like a leaf would be green or whatever. Fire would be red. I think later on I change it so that doesn't happen anymore, and he doesn't call himself Temp because there's no point of having that as his name. So whatever. That's why you'll see his hair randomly change. This is Julius, or Temp in his Temp form.
10, so that 0 is necessary. And I'm already going off track already. Amazing. Anyways,
So am I in this.
Episode 1, Temp, the Controller of Elements, written by CS-Masyet, although I should mention, back then it actually wasn't called CS-Masyet, it was called something else.
I think I'm reading like the very, very original one because I wrote it a couple times. This is the one I remade. This is just Julius without his hair changing colors because I don't think it did anymore. When I remade it, and also I made his thermometer bluish, so it looked more unique from regular thermometer, I guess. Yeah.
Else. That's a story for another day, though. And if you're...
this is Rye, by the way. You'll see her a couple more times in more images. I think she probably has more images than any other character does honestly. Even Julius.
Wondering why it's called Temp, the Controller of Elements. You're like, who's Temp? Well, that'll be explained later, so...
Who's Temp? Also, this is Sarah, by the way.
Let's go on with the episode now. A 10-year-old boy named Julius lives an average and peaceful life, a life that most people enjoy. But not Julius. He wishes for a more exciting life. A life filled with excitement and thrills.
Totally.
Fortunately for him, that's all about to come true, whether he's ready or not. And already starting this story with such an original description of the story.
This is Statet, the assistant creature thing that helps Rye Rye used her power. She doesn't really transform. Only Julius transformed into Temp, and then I changed that later to not be a thing. The thermometer staff thing is the one that just does all the powers. Statet controls the powers of Rye's thermometer staff, and Stat helps control it for Julius's. Whoops. Stat is the red one, which will show up later, and I think that's all the characters that will have up in this video.
Sorry. And I should also mention that this page is actually something I put up, which I try to make as close to the original as possible, although I did change some stuff. One of the things I did keep, though, was the little icon pictures next to the narration. For Element Temp, it's a thermometer, while his weapon now is a blue thermometer staff. Originally, it just looked like a regular one. Well, it's a big...
By the way, a bunch of images here. I used to make characters for Mugen, a customizable like fighter game, whatever. I don't think it's that popular anymore, but it used to be. Like into making characters for that, and I made characters for my things I wrote into the game. Julius, Rye, and even Sarah were 3 characters I made for it. So they'll show up as images here as well. So yeah, you
bigger one, obviously.
I guess you're wondering like why they look like they would be made for like some fighter, whatever that they were.
But like that looked like a regular one. Well, it's a bigger one, obviously. But like that's pretty much what it looked like before. So it wasn't just image of a thermometer just because his weapon is a giant thermometer. It actually did look like that. So anyways, Julius, where am I? What is this place? Sees a bunch of crystals with different elements inside them? Question mark. You must learn how to control all of the elements before it's too late. Julius. What do you mean? Ah. Okay, to be honest, I don't know if I want to actually say who is narrating every single time out loud. Might get a bit I feel like it might break the flow of the story. So if you want to know like who's talking and what time, it might be better to actually be reading it.
I kind of wished I did actually, because it's gonna make this video kind of awkward. Hopefully I have that the story itself up on my site soon. I really wish I did that beforehand. I forgot I didn't actually mention that. So it'll probably really really confusing to anyone watching this. Either this video or this or this past video I made, in case you want to watch that one instead, or later or whatever.
So if you want to know like who's talking and what time, it might be better to actually be reading it while I'm like reading the actual page while I'm reading out loud. Sorry about that. If anyone didn't feel like it might be better for you to actually do that. So anyways, let's continue with the story again. Hello? Wake up! Wake up, Julius! Wake up! Wakes up. Huh? It was just a dream. Hey, Sarah, why did you wake me up? You overslept. If you don't hurry up, we're going to be late. Late for what? For school, duh! Oh no! Zooms out of bed to get ready, knocking Sarah over. Ow, we're not that late. So that's how that part goes in the original. As you might have noticed, there is quite different from how it is in the most recent one. At that point, as I mentioned before, Julius' character as being lazy wasn't really like set in stone yet or at all. So like in the recent one, he was just like lazy and didn't want to get out of bed, so Sarah had to force him out. But in this one, instead of that, he zooms out of bed and just knocks her over, so I can use the "we're not that late" joke in the recent one, because it wouldn't obviously not make sense to do because he wasn't the one who ran out of bed. Yeah, it's actually a very uncharacteristic thing for him to do now, so yeah. So Julius and Sarah walked to school after getting ready. So, what were you dreaming about, brother? Huh? Oh, right. It was really weird. I saw all these different colored crystals with things like fire and water inside them. Then a spirit told me to learn how to control them. Huh? How is that possible? Well, it was just a dream after all. First thing I'd like to mention is, first of all, obviously this part, and even the part with him knowing about the dream about the spirits happens a lot earlier. In the recent one, he actually gets two dreams, and then he describes the spirit, the person talking to Julius, to Sarah after school, but it changes to before school here.
Well, that image is really cool. I don't know if I talk about this, but I think I took advantage of the fact that he was lazy to have him like sleep normally at night and then sleep again during class, which would make sense in character, and that you took advantage of that to have him have two dreams involving some mysterious being talking to him. I know who that is, but I don't know if I want to mention who that is even in this video. But yeah, these images at the bottom showing the elements look pretty cool, even though like for an attack for him it doesn't really make it that much sense. So I don't know why I made that. I'm assuming that's an attack, right, or is it a defensive technique? But yeah, you're
Because I wanted to show some stuff at school first to show like I guess how his school life is a bit more first. Not only that, it makes me looking at this now, I don't really know how Julius would know it was a spirit that told him that, because
you know these character designs look kind of silly, especially to me now. Rye probably has one of my favorite character designs, especially after I redesigned her. I liked what I did with her hair and the shirt and stuff. It was a bit more creative than especially Julius, who just had a plain shirt as all of his colors and and his hair and just kind of weird and whatever.
when there's nothing that shows that like he was able to see like what was going on, well, except for
Kind of miss working on these for Mugen too. I just haven't had the motivation to do that kind of thing anymore. I don't even remember if I saw the files for that stuff or whatever. I don't remember.
No, it was a spirit that told him that. Because when there's nothing that like shows that like he was able to see like what was going on, well, except for the crystals and stuff. Also, I should mention. I guess I'll mention this now. The person who actually talks to him here, here in the original version, is actually Stat. In the more recent
Oh,
version,
it was? That's definitely not the case in the recent one, right?
it's Stat's Master, which I won't reveal it because it's a spoil in the story.
I don't even remember that I talked about like that much in detail. That revealed its stats master. I guess I could say that because I talk about it in the video, but yeah, it was. I do remember that was the case, but yeah,
Which
yappers.
I won't reveal it because it's a spoil in the story. But in the original one, it's actually Stat who does it. So yeah. So only a minute from now, it's gonna be June 5th. Fortunately, I guess I won't get this video up in time for its anniversary. Probably say I'm doing.
It's kind of funny because for me right now it's 3 minutes to midnight, so it's gonna be June 4th soon. Oh boy, you.
The video during it. The last minute now. Yeah, it's June 5th now. Now it's Paint and Trouble's 9th anniversary.
Why the hell did I decide to do this on June 4th? Like, what was I expecting? Like, I guess I really wanted to do it on its anniversary, like me, like myself doing it. Then I guess I didn't care enough about when it would be uploaded. That's not the case now, and I already explained I just don't really want to do recording stuff tomorrow anyway. So yeah, it ended up being today. Ended up being a good day to record it too, so even better. But yeah. By the way, I guess I'll mention this because I don't think in the video I talk about this, but Sarah apparently has powers here, like some stuff she gets from someone in the original series, but in the more recent one I made later, she's just a normal person. She doesn't get powers anymore. So if it was ever to make Mugen stuff again, Sarah would not be a playable character anymore because it wouldn't make any sense. Last I decided to just base her on her old version so she could be playable. I guess I don't know, but yeah, I guess we're gonna like what her powers are here. Uh, that's I don't remember exactly what I did to give her powers or who gave her powers or whatever. But it's clearly different from what Julius and Rai have. But if I ever rewrite this against Sarah, I won't have powers anymore because it doesn't really make that much sense in my opinion. To I only gave her powers here because I just wanted her to do something. But that kind of went against like what role she was supposed to have in the story originally. So yeah.
But enough of that. Let's continue with me reading the story. So we gotta finish the video. Ding dong, the school bell rings. Oh darn it, we'd better get to school. Julie and Sarah get to school just in time. When they arrive at class, everyone's watching TV.
I guess in that image here, you can see that I made an image of this for some reason. I don't know why, because I just wanted to make a comic or whatever, but I don't think for any of my other series I ever really did this. There was definitely one exception, but I tried to make that a comment. Comic series in general, I made a bunch of them for that one. This one I just made this and that's it. This was actually based on the old original one. You can tell by the dialogue here, but yeah. And 1 minute to midnighter, and 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 50th anniversary. Bursary. Element Temp, yeah, I'm really tired. I want to finish this video soon now. Okay.
Well, just in time. When they arrive at class, everyone's watching TV. Huh?
Why?
Why is everyone watching TV? A large amount of toxic waste has been reported seen.
Why is there a TV in the classroom? What the hell?
Huh? Why is everyone watching TV? A large amount of toxic waste has been reported seen at a nearby lake. Luckily, this lake is not connected to any pipeline, so your waters will be safe to drink or wash with. That's weird. I wonder what happened.
How convenient. It's almost like I just wanted a toxic monster to be in the lake for him to fight or something. Spoilers. but I didn't want it to negatively affect things later on or whatever. So I'm absolutely sure it's like it doesn't affect drinking water. It's fine. No one will die from this or something.
It will be safe to drink or wash with. That's weird. I wonder what happened. So this part in particular, I would actually like to talk about because it's
Am I gonna talk about exactly what I just said? Probably.
a lot different from the more recent one.
Apparently, I didn't know
In the
that.
original, they found out about the toxic lake by watching TV instead of by Julius's friend, who actually doesn't appear a lot later on because he actually wasn't even made at this point. The only one really with him was Sarah, his sister. Because
why not just have Sarah tell him then? I don't know.
the thing is,
Or his parents.
when I thought about it, finding out from TV doesn't really make much sense because if they knew enough about the lake for it to be on TV, weren't there anyone at the lake at the beginning when Julius and Sarah went there? Finding out through Kenna's dad makes a bit more sense because in the story their town is actually like not very populated very much. Not that many people live there or in Tempest in general. It's not like that big of a place. So finding out that way actually made a bit more sense.
Yeah, they live in a small place, so that means there's no TVs in Tempest. Is that my logic? What? What the hell was I talking about? I mean, I understand they figured if they're gonna like have people like if it's a big enough deal to be on TV, then there should probably be people still around the lake. Like, why would it just be like, oh, it's a big deal, there's toxic waste in the lake, and then the next day, like, it's not important anymore, let's just have nobody there to watch or try to deal with it or whatever. I guess that's why I changed it, but, like, the way I worded that was kind of weird, yeah.
This part in general has always been kind of weird to me rereading it.
It's hilarious, though. It's so
After
silly.
school? Yes, I got no homework. Hey, do you want to check out that lake then? What for? Don't you think it's odd that toxic waste just appeared there? It looks kind of weird too. Don't you think it's interesting? Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's go. Go to the lake.
Okay, like, have fun going to the lake, Julius. I'm gonna check my recording and then it'll start the next part immediately after in the video. I don't know why. Like, I'm gonna go do something. I want to take a break for a little bit, but for you guys, it'll just happen. I'll be back instantly. I don't know why I'm treating it like it'll be gone for a while. Whatever. I don't know. I am always like this, anyways. Yeah, you're. Bleh. I know I'm gonna act like a broken record, but I hope I finish this soon. I'm starting to get really tired. I've already been doing this for over an hour, I think, right? Because 12:07 right now for me in the morning, and I started recording this before 11. Yeah, I didn't take a break for too long. I need to go to the bathroom in case you really wanted to know what I wanted to do in between making parts. But yeah, also that part was getting really long anyway. So, anyways, yeah, you're.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's go. Go to the lake. Oh, sorry, I mean Julius and Sarah go to the lake. Anyways, sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about here is in the original, they didn't think it was Julius, rather than think it was kind of weird to just stop by a toxic waste lake and to check out what was going on. Julius decided to be just to like say, well, there's nothing we can do about it, so let's not bother going. Sarah was the one who convinced them. Well, she has the idea in both versions, but
Oh yeah.
Julius didn't really mind as much in the original. He just said, okay, fine, let's go.
I don't think I don't know if I talk about this, but I don't think it's a big deal to talk about it. The idea for his character that I think he kept the whole time. Like I said, he wasn't much to his character, but there was one. I think technically idea I had for him that he still has his most recent incarnation. The whole idea was that he's supposed to be an ordinary boy. That's an important part of his character for a reason I don't want to talk about in too much detail, but it's important to the story that he's like a regular boy, especially in comparison to Rai, who's not that ordinary in comparison. She's not like Not like she's like an alien creature or something, but that's not what I mean. But yeah, I think it's highlight that further by making him part of like a small town or whatever, just a small town boy or whatever. I guess originally that's why I was like, that's why he wants his life to be more thrilling or whatever. But I changed it so he likes his life, he likes being lazy because I thought the idea of someone like that being the main character having these powers is like, but I don't want to do this. It was funny, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's worse than I thought. Yeah. Huh? Hey, what's that? Picks up something off the ground. Huh. Looks like a giant thermometer.
So it was just immediately there. I think in the most recent one, it drops from the sky or something, which is kind of cliche-ish, but it makes more sense than just randomly being on the ground. It's like fate brought him to that lake. He was meant to be there, so it would just be there waiting for him, I guess.
Why is it glowing? Finally, I've been waiting here. Been waiting forever. Didn't you get my message? Huh? Who said that? Me. So
I probably talked about it already, but I was like, did he ever mention that he was waiting for him at the toxic lake? Probably not.
apparently in the original, the thermometer doesn't just fall from the ground. It was just there to begin
Fall from the ground. Yeah, totally. Fall from the sky, I meant.
with, apparently. So Stat was like just hoping Joyous would stop by to pick him up, I suppose.
I just same as I mentioned. Like he's just hoping he'd be there. Oops.
On the ground, it was just there to begin with, apparently. So Stat was like just hoping Joyous would stop by to pick him up, I suppose. It's like, what if he didn't end up going there? You'd just be waiting for eternity for someone to show up, I suppose.
And you're a toxic lake, no less. Holy crap.
I mean, it's kind of over the top for the,
I mean, Stat doesn't have a nose, to be fair, so he probably wouldn't give a shit, but yeah.
I suppose. I mean, it's kind of over the top for the Stats throwing just fall out of the sky, but at least it makes a bit more sense, right?
Which I mentioned earlier, yeah, it's like it at least makes more sense than it just randomly being there, so yeah.
A strange red spirit comes out of the thermometer. What the? Hello, my name is Stat. You must use my powers to master the elements before it's too late. And for some reason, I decided to separate those lines just because he didn't know his name was Stat at first. I had a weird way of writing back then, I guess. Wait, so that wasn't just a dream? Hate to interrupt, but why is the toxic waste moving?
True. And then you hear my laptop noise in the background afterward. Lovely.
Yep, no exposition rather, on what's going on. It just cuts right to the monster appearing in the original. What's going on here? Hurry and put some element-related things in the staff. Huh? Okay. Will water and grass work? Perfect. Hurry and put them in.
How the hell does Julius know what the hell he's supposed to do there? Like, put some element things in the staff, and like I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, I just instantly know what to do. It's perfectly fine. Like, that's why he was fated to be the hero, because he knows what to do magically somehow.
Got some water from the lake and picked up some grass from the ground. So here's one of the more obvious differences between this and the original. He gets 2 elements to use rather than just 1.
Also, apparently there was no stones or dirt to put in there. That's weird. That's obviously element related stuff. Like, I'd think of a rock being an element related thing more than grass. It's weird that Julius did that instead. I have no idea what his logic was, as if he's a real person that exists.
In this, in the original, he gets 2 elements to use rather than just 1. And although one of them is water from the lake, which a toxic monster.
Wait, that makes no. Yeah, I just realized that makes no sense. Where the hell? What? Maybe there was a puddle on the ground I forgot to mention. I guess maybe I don't know.
And although one of them is water from the lake, which a toxic monster is in, so I wondered how Julius was able to do that without getting hurt by the monster. Weird. But whatever, back to the story. Okay,
In case you want to know, in case I don't put up the rewritten one of this story, the element he uses against the monster is the nature power, right? It's called leaf power here, I think, but I changed it to nature power. And yes, it's called the same type as in Tohomon, which actually is a coincidence. I didn't name it after Tohomon. But yeah.
weird. But whatever, back to the story. Okay, now all you have to do now is say, Element Temp, Element Temp. No, louder. Okay, if you say so. Element Temp starts glowing, then returns to normal except with different colored eyes, hair, and clothes.
I don't get. Whatever. I talked about this already. I'm not going to
It's
mention it again.
normal except with different colored eyes, hair, and clothes. So if you notice, I kind of made a joke with during this part, but it's a bit different in both versions. This version, he says Element Temp, and then Stat like misunderstands and think that was him trying to say it. He's like, no, louder. But in the current version, he just like says he's gonna say it loud, and he just says it quietly because he's lazy. So I guess it's up to you which one you think is the funnier joke.
Honestly, I think the first one was funnier than him just being like, I'm going to say it quiet because I'm lazy. That's the joke. What? I don't remember exactly how it goes in the remade one because it's been a while since I read, like, honestly, both of them. But from the context of the video that I'm talking about here, the first one seems funnier, in my opinion. Honestly.
So I guess it's up to you which one you think is the funnier joke. Huh? Huh? You have now become Temp. Temp? Yes, now you must use your power to defeat the evil creature. Now here's something else that I changed from the original.
I talked
For
about this
some
already.
reason I had like stats say that Julius, his name is now Temp while transformed. I'm not sure why I decided to end up doing that, especially since Rai didn't change her name when she transformed. I think it was gonna have like a secret identity for him or something, but I never ended up going anywhere with it. Yes.
I talked about this already. Yeah, I didn't. Of course, I don't know why I didn't expect to talk about this here, but yeah, I'll obviously mention this already.
I was gonna have like a secret identity for him or something, but I never ended up going anywhere with it. Yeah, I still kept the Temp thing. I think it was like excuse like it's like a tradition or something, but I ended up like changing my mind because there wasn't like any point of even having that there. So yeah. So I should mention that comes up later is that he transforms first into a neutral state and then he transforms into an element. But of course, in the current version, he only uses one at a time, so it's kind of pointless to have the neutral state. So he just transformed from regular Julius to the element, and that's it. Tab? Oh, wait, no, I already did it. Okay, but how? First, choose one of the elements you got. Okay, water. Changes again. This time he's blue. Huh? I changed again? Now you're all set. Just say water power. Here goes. Water power. Shoots a powerful stream of water at the toxic monster. Whoa! Actually, I just realized that at first Stat transforms him, but later on he actually has to say water power to transform, and that actually went over to the actual version, and even in the first chapter he actually transforms that way instead of Stat doing it for him. Good job. But
Did I make it so in the remade version, Julius had to do it himself? Pretty sure Stat just has the ability to do it for him, and I think that's the only way that's actually the case. Like, Julius can't just do it; Stat has to do it. Because I think that makes more sense because Stat's the one who controls the power. So yeah. Thinking about it, it doesn't make sense that Stat's like. I mean, I guess because he's transformed, he's like, you have to do it yourself. Even though it clearly showed earlier that Stat can do it, so I'm not sure why he said that. Because like why does Julius need to do it? So you can just do it yourself at all times. There's no reason why like even if it's just him to learn about it, like he doesn't need to do it. So why bother explaining this? I don't know. Whatever.
it's not out yet. and it looks really angry. Okay, have some more then. Water power shoots more water at it. Be careful you don't use too much water power. It's limited. It tells me now.
I
Much
really
water
added an echoey thing in editing. What?
power. It's limited. It tells me now. By the way, I hope you're enjoying my monster voice impressions.
I am totally.
Oh no, it's preparing to launch an attack. Water power shoots water at it to stop it from attacking. Yes. Temp.
Yes. Oh, did I? Okay, no, I didn't. I thought I pressed like I just unmuted by pressing
Water
M,
power
whatever.
shoots water at it to stop it from attacking. Yes. Temp, you're almost out of water power. Can't I just switch?
Why the hell does Stat need to call him Temp? What? Even if that was first secret identity, you could just call him Julius, right? I don't know why. It's like he just becomes Temp. Maybe that was like, actually, it was that like part of the lore, like that was an ancient like warrior or whatever. What was his name? Temp. Is he like supposed to like, be the reincarnation of him or something? I don't know if I made that a thing, or if I was gonna make that a thing. I don't remember. But yeah.
Yes.
Like why else would? Why is he calling him that?
Temp, you're almost out of water power.
In case I don't think it's obvious, but I think he's technically communicating with him like telepathically or something. I don't remember if he's like actually talking to him or not, because like if he's supposed to have a secret identity and there's like people around, like if he's talking they would hear him, right? So I think he's just communicating with him from his mind. So it's like that's even more reason why he doesn't need to call him Temp. It makes no sense at all.
Can't I just switch to the grass power? Yes, but leaf power isn't good against poison power. So first, I don't know if you noticed, but the grass power thing is a reference to it previously called grass because Pokemon. Second, I should mention that every monster originally was actually going to be based on an element that Julius could acquire and rise well. So there actually were going to be enough chapters to cover every single element. However, since there isn't as many elements,
There was originally going to be 30 chapters, right? There was 25 elements, but I think because of story reasons, there was 5 extra ones along with that. I don't think it was like 25 and then the last 5 are big story stuff. I think it was like randomly mixed in there. Like I don't remember if he's like there's some episode he doesn't fight monsters. I'm assuming there's at least one he doesn't. But yeah, I believe 30 was how many there were going to be originally, right? And I ended up making was it 14 or 16? I don't remember. But yeah, I was around halfway done, I think.
however, since there isn't as many elements that he'll be able to use, I'm probably going to cut down the chapters a bit. I decided like around 20, but I don't know if that's what I'm actually going to do. So I changed it to question marks on the main page for Element Temp. So, of course, you might have noticed it's still a toxic monster in the original story because I changed it. That was one point of having every monster be elements. At the point I decided to keep them as like, because there was no really reason to change it, and as a reference to the old version, I suppose. So yeah. It's okay, it looks like it won't take much more. Okay, I'll switch you to leaf power. Switches him to leaf power. Okay, here we go. Leaf power. The toxic monster.
Okay, so this time Stat check. So is Julius supposed to do it or not? Cause Stat just did it for him again. I was very inconsistent in this story apparently. Like was I supposed to be a master writer in 2007? What the hell was I? What was I thinking? I don't understand.
Switches him to leaf power. Okay, here we go. Leaf power. The toxic monster didn't
Oh no,
get
no, he did say leaf. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'll stop pausing and pay more attention.
Switches him to leaf power. Okay, here we go. Leaf power. The toxic monster didn't get hurt that much from the leaf power, but it was enough to take it out. The monster exploded. Whoa!
Couldn't I have just said it was enough to take it out, and that would be enough context that it wasn't that effective on him, but it did enough anyways? I think sometimes it was just way too more descriptive about things than I needed to be. I think that was a problem I had like after that, but I guess even back then I had that issue. But yeah, too much exposition and whatever than necessary.
Brief power, but it was enough to take it out. The monster exploded. Whoa! So it's over? Yeah, you defeated the monster. Good, now the lake is back to normal. I'll return you to normal too. Turns Temp back into Julius. You're back to normal. So is that it, or are there other monsters? Yes, the One will create more monsters to try and steal the power of Element Temp.
The One. What a creative name for big bad person.
The One? Yes, she's the creator of all the monsters. We can talk later. We better get home before Mom and Dad worry about us. Oh no, that's right. So Julius and Sarah go back home with their new spirit friend Stat after a long and what must be the most bizarre day of their lives so far. And yeah, that's where the story ends. There's not even a the end or to be continued for some reason. I guess I decided that narration was enough to end the story off. So there's some stuff I want to talk about to end off the video, but first let's talk about how the chapter ended. Obviously, it's a bit more, the dialogue afterward is a bit more simple, but the thing that's definitely different is that Snap mentioned someone called the One. Yes, that's the name of the villain of the original version of Element Temp. Although I do think it's a bit weird that he rarely gives that piece of exposition at that point, especially since it doesn't really go anywhere. Julius and Sarah just decide to go home and just leave that part off for later on.
Okay,
I don't remember.
first of all, what the hell am I doing in the video with like leaning into shit? Probably, I probably was getting tired. Also, second of all, I don't actually remember him mentioning the one that early. Did I change things, or was that always the case and I just forgot? Because that's weird. Maybe I mentioned it in the video. I don't know.
Sarah just decide to go home and just leave that part off for later on. I don't remember if it's even covered until like when the one actually appears. But of course, in the most recent version, that who actually created the monsters isn't even talked about at all. Because I believe that covering that at the beginning is kind of weird. It should be talked about later, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, so maybe I did do that. I don't know why. Yeah, I was to say I don't know why I did it that early. That's weird. That's the kind of thing you would save for later, right? Also, Raya's on fire. What the hell?
So now what I also like to talk about is the differences between Temp's powers, Julius's powers rather, in all the versions. First, the very original,
I
and
didn't
then
actually remember. I talked about like comparing the rewrite to the original this much in this story, which is really awkward because I don't have either of them up on my site right now. But yeah, because I was gonna put up the original, thinking that would be enough to like for in context of this video, but I guess I have to do the remake too because I talked about it so much in this video. Holy crap! Also, I'm almost done. Holy shit! Let's just get through it, Dogzy.
in all the versions. First, the very original, and then there's a one I rewrote in 2010. Then the most recent one now, which was actually last year. Then it reselled it to this year. In this year, obviously in the original one, he has water power and relief power. He uses water power the majority of the fight, and then finishes with leaf, showing off that he can use more than one element at once. Well, not together, but like is able to have both available to use.
I'm pretty sure that's why I did that. Like that was actually the reason. It was actually a kind of smart idea. I didn't like. There's a lot of stuff I just included because I just thought it was cool and I like, randomly wanted to put it in there. But I actually thought about that quite a bit. I think like I want to show off that this is a thing he can do, and I have him have two powers for like because he can do that, and I want him to at least use like both at least once. So I think I thought for sure I didn't want him just to use water power, even though it would make more sense because it was better against them than the other. But then I went through the thing like, oh, it doesn't last forever. You can't just keep using it, and it doesn't end up actually running out. He switches it to the other one because I think in that like the original story at least there was actually negative consequences to actually purposely letting it run out. So that's why Stat warned him is like you shouldn't keep using that to switch it to the other one. I don't think like, he doesn't actually explain this yet, but I think later on it actually happens or he mentions it. But yeah, so that's why I purposely had him like show off him switching because that was an important thing to the story, and I showed that off in the first episode, which was a good idea. That was good. At least that was good storytelling on my part, in my opinion. So yeah.
But then in the rewrite, it was already changed to be Julius able to get only one element at once. In that version, he has water power, which he actually gets from a water ball that he happens to have in his bag. Because I already realized at the point.
Wait, what the hell? Wait, what? I thought in the remake he only gets, or am I thinking of a different one I made later? I have no idea. I don't remember actually having water power though. I guess it was a older rewrite. I rewrote it multiple times. But yeah.
In that version, he has water power, which he actually gets from a water ball that he happens to have in his bag. Because I already realized at the point getting water from the lake is kind of impossible with the toxin monster being in there. However, I ended up changing my mind and have him get nature power instead because it made more sense in the area he was in. Because after all, that's originally what I wanted to do with the powers, is get him getting stuff from his surroundings.
Yeah, that made that having his, especially his first power being from a water bottle of all things, is lame. Like the idea in general is fine, but like having that as the first power is weird. So I guess, so I'm like, why did I decide that was a good idea? So I guess that's why I changed my mind. So yeah.
Powers is get him getting stuff from his surroundings. Because he doesn't even put stuff in the staff anymore. He just points it up in the air or something and then gets elements that way. Which I thought made a bit more sense and like followed what I originally intended with his powers originally anyways. So I thought it fit more. So obviously nature power to make more sense to like have there than water. Since the lake toxin monster was in the lake at the time. And plus he couldn't poison power wasn't actually a power he's able to get now. Originally he could get it, but not anymore. So yeah, I think that about covers what the difference is between the original version of the first chapter and what it is now. And I already read the whole thing. It wasn't very long because it's old, and I didn't. Even back then, like I had longer ones for like Paint Trouble. Well, it wasn't even called Paint Trouble back then, but Element Temp was on the early one, so it's a bit short. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do this kind of thing again. It was kind of interesting to do this, I guess. It was a lot longer than I was expecting. Yeah, I had to cut into 2 videos even.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And if you liked this, I hope you look forward to doing this again if I decide to do it again with Element Temp chapters or other series chapters. There's a lot for Session Adventures. I would make a couple of videos. So anyways, with that, until next time, bye, I guess. Happy 10th anniversary, Element Temp. Sorry there was no baboons or Venusaurs this time. Bye.
Wow. So I guess, whoa, sorry. So I guess was a thing I had back then because I'm like I didn't say that for the first one, I guess because I figured I would continue on. I'm assuming I recorded both like one right after the other. Also, this is Indigo the Witch, not Element Temp. Let me go back to this.
So what
I don't know why it's auto playing my videos. I guess as I'm watching a playlist, but whatever. So I do want to end this off soon because this is gonna be a really long video. I'm sure this part alone is over 25 minutes. Oh boy. I should have expected this to be really long because well, as soon as I saw how long both those videos were, I forgot I made 2 of them. But yeah, I think like the others, like. Yeah, Indigo the Witches alone. Yeah, that's why. Oh no, Pain Trouble also has 2. But yeah, Element Temp is definitely the longest one, combining both videos, but yeah. So, that was actually an interesting idea, like, just randomly going back to read my old stuff and narrating them, whatever. Maybe I might even do that in the future. I didn't really keep my promise, like, since then, but if I decide to do it now, I guess I will technically be keeping my promise, but I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that was pretty interesting blast from the past. Especially around the end, I didn't talk about that much stuff because I started to get tired. I'm really tired right now, so I don't want to make this too much longer. But so till then, bye. I guess it's already past 12:30. It's been doing this for a while. and that's how I want to put the AC back on, so I want to stop recording soon. It's a happy 15th anniversary, Element Temp. I can't believe you're that old already. Sorry, I've not really been working on you that much. I probably won't have that much done when its 20th anniversary comes up. Oh boy, 20 years. Can you imagine? How old will I be then? Holy crap. Pretty damn old. I already am pretty damn old, so yeah. So till then, yeah, you're bye, I guess. Hopefully I'll have, like, I'll put up on my site the actual story stuff for at least Element Temp sometime soon. Yeah. Bye, Dogser. Now I gotta edit this whole entire damn video now, huh? Oh boy, you.